Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. What is this? This is like the fourth week of college football rankings. I know we should always talk about this before the show. We do a lot of this off the cuff, but week
Yeah,
four,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
I believe this is the fourth set of rankings.
Well, this is the fourth time that a group of people have gotten together and decided to make a list of the best college football teams. And Noah, we're here to react to that. And again, welcome. Thank you for joining us on the Brofect1 AJ. And of course, that is the Money Train, Sportsbook Whisper, college basketball guru, man with the numbers, daddy of the diamond, all hail King of the Links, Noah Engelbretson. Noah, it was a good week of college football. I mean, obviously, we got not a lot of shakeup in the top five, top six, but still some movement going on there. And I mean, let's cover the top 10. I think the rest of the teams kind of fall in place wherever they fall in. But I mean,
why don't we do 12 just for the hell of it for when the playoff gets expanded? Because
all right, yeah, fair enough.
AJ, previous years not the most exciting, but looking at the top 12 this year would be a really fun year to have a 12-team playoff. And I feel like it's going to go. There's going to be some years like the last 3, 4, 5 years, it wouldn't have been that entertaining. But this year, there'd be a lot of really fun games, especially in that first round with the top
Yeah.
four teams getting buys.
And let's be real, they had to go to 12 teams eventually. NIL, I love it. Honestly, I think NIL is the best thing that's happened to college football because I think we're seeing a lot more parity in college football finally. A lot of teams that they've got guys, they've got dogs on this team, through NIL and everything. And hell, that's going to make the 12 teams so exciting. So you're right, Noah. Let's go ahead and break down the top 12. Let's start. You want to start with the bottom or the top?
Let's start with the top four, the teams that, would in the 12 team format get the buys, earning those bye weeks.
Yeah, let's go with it, Noah.
Yeah.
You got Georgia there at number 1, Ohio State number 2, Michigan number 3, TCU number 4. TCU still holding on to that spot with dear life. Obviously, Ohio State, Michigan's going to get decided this week. But outside of Georgia just losing the next 2 games, I mean, this game and then the SEC championship, I mean, they're pretty much in, right?
Yeah. I mean, Georgia's got Georgia Tech this week. They're 35.5-point favorites. That's going to be a bloodbath. And then they play at LSU, which will be one to definitely circle on your calendars. Already seeing Georgia as a 15-point favorite in that game in the SEC championship. But I think, Georgia, barring something crazy happening this week, even a loss to LSU in the SEC championship game, I think they are still in. Obviously, that being the scenario, I'm going to pull LSU from number 5 just into the conversation briefly.
Fine.
Just because, that happens. LSU beats Georgia. I think we see 2 SEC teams in.
Well, yeah, because Ohio State or Michigan would have to be out.
Yeah, and, right now, one of those 2 teams holding a tentative spot. We could see both of them in the playoff. I'm not going to write that off at all. Whoever loses this week's going to, barring a TCU loss, drop out of the top 4 momentarily. But then, if Georgia collapses LSU in the SEC championship, I think the loser of this game sneaks in with that 4 spot.
Oh, that would be interesting. That'd be interesting. TCU does need to run the table. They are looking for any excuse to get them out of the top 4. I mean, and that's that's why I think they haven't moved up. I think their resume is a hell of a lot more impressive than Michigan. But I will say, Noah, and I want to say this for the first time this season, I firmly believe Michigan deserves to be in the top 5 now. Good for them.
Even after they should have lost last week. Let's be honest. Illinois for the second or third time this year getting fucked by the referees.
Dude, that was unbelievable. That was unbelievable. That was Illinois' game. Like Illinois had it, and then that shit. That was terrible.
Yeah, I hate blaming the refs. I'm not an Illinois fan.
Neither of us are.
I would say I'm pretty neutral about them. I don't dislike them, but I don't they don't do anything for it's like whatever. And so from a completely neutral standpoint, I'm saying this is the second, possibly the third game that Illinois has just gotten absolutely shafted by the refs. They probably should have beat Michigan here, which would have completely changed the scope of things. It would have been a must win against Ohio State for Michigan if Illinois had beat them, as they probably should have. But, we're dealing with the things that actually happen, not the hypotheticals here. So, um, I like the top 4, the top 5, even the way they're ranked.
Yeah,
Only thing I would change is I would bump TCU to 3, put Michigan at 4.
fair.
Um, but other than that, I've got no big complaints here, no big bones to pick with the top 5 teams on the list.
No, not really. And then I think we start to get a little choppy here when we get to the rest of it. Let's go through 6 through 12, where we have USC holding on to that 6 spot at 10-1, Alabama there at 7, Clemson at 8, Oregon at 9, Tennessee at 10, Penn State at 11, and Kansas State sneaking in there at that 12 spot. Noah, I've been a big USC fan. I've been on them all season. I said they were going to win the Pac-12. Obviously, I may be incorrect about that. With all that being said, though, I don't think there is any reason for them to be even close to the top 10. I mean, I don't think there's really, though, any excuse for any of the Pac-12 teams to be in there. But USC coming in there at 6. I mean, I obviously would put them up there against Bama. I don't know why Bama's at 7. They should be dropped down to 8. Get Clemson up there at...
Why should Bama not be 6?
Why should Bama not be 6? They have 2 losses. What are you talking about?
Right, to number 5 LSU and number 10 Tennessee, both on the road by a combined 4 points.
So? They have 2 losses. Any other team has 2 losses, they're sitting there at 8, 9, 10.
So you're telling me Bama doesn't beat USC by, 17 points?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Bama could beat any of those teams by, 17 points, but the rules are the rules. You have 2 losses. You have no business being anywhere near the top 5. And even at 7, I think it's too high. That's all I'm saying.
Well, what about LSU?
Don't get me wrong. I don't know what LSU is doing, but I'm about the family, and so I accept the way the math is working out there.
So this is where I think it gets really interesting if we had the 12-team playoff this year, because you've got your top 4. In previous years, we've had not even a full rounded 4, but we've had most years 2 or 3 teams that it's like, okay, these teams are really good. They could win it. I think, whether it's the loser of Ohio State, Michigan, or LSU, or Alabama, or potentially even Clemson, or even maybe Tennessee or Penn State, like there's some teams that could potentially cause some waves if it was played in the 12-team format this year. And I think Alabama is one of those that they could, like, I'm never going to write off Saban and that Alabama team, especially if we're in a 12-team format and they can get in with 2 losses, because it is Alabama after all.
Absolutely, and I'm just saying that just because of the rules. Alabama still, like you said, they go in the playoffs or anything like that. I mean, they're going to be one of the favorites to win in sports betting wise. Like they're going to be plus 200, plus 300. It sucks, but until Nick Saban probably retires, which might be soon if he loses 3 games. But anyway, anything else though? What do you think about Tennessee hanging in there at 10, even though they just took an embarrassing loss to South Carolina?
Yeah, I think they should have dropped more than 5 spots in the rankings. Not just losing, but losing by 20 plus points to a not that great South Carolina team. I think they should have dropped below Penn State, probably below maybe Kansas State, probably below Washington. I think they should be all the way down at like 14 or 15 after that one. It is one game, but that was a really, really bad loss. And you know what? In boxing, MMA, you can, be absolutely winning a fight, but you take one massive hit and you're knocked out. And, I think this is kind of same scenario. They should have dropped even farther because that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing, and we're going to keep them in the top 10. Come on.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. Washington should definitely be up there at 12, move everyone up 1 spot, drop Tennessee down to 15.
Then again, Washington lost to Arizona State. So,
yeah, that was fucking rough. That is rough. Can't believe Urban Meyer's going to go there. I'm going to start that rumor. I really think Urban's going to sign there.
Yeah, I mean, I just think Penn State should be higher, I guess. Like, I guess the one through 9 is all fine, and then Penn State should probably be 10, and then there's your drop off point right there. Because Penn State's two losses to Michigan and Ohio State, they had a lead in the second half in both of those. So I think there's 10 very solid teams left in the country. Not to say that Tennessee couldn't do something in a 12-game format or like Washington couldn't, but I mean, yeah. I'm excited for that 12-team format to come along. Most years it probably won't be super interesting, but a year like this, I think we'd have some really good games, especially in that first round. You talk about as the rankings sit right now, like an Alabama-Tennessee rematch, that would be super fun.
That'd be really good.
Clemson-Oregon would probably be a pretty good game, a fun one to watch. You talk about like Penn State-USC, that, and then as it stands right now, if you got LSU playing Kansas State and whatever, but they wouldn't all be great. But getting those type of like rematches between like an Alabama and Tennessee, and then winner of that probably goes on to like play a really fun game as well. So
no, yeah, we need that 12. We need those 12 team playoff here as soon as possible. And I understand they say it's got to take some time because of TV deals and everything like that. But shit, let's get it figured out because I need it now. I'm done being patient with this.
Well, yeah, and I like the I like the idea of that first round being home games.
Yes.
So if you finish, would that be 5 through 8, then you get a home game for that first round.
I think it's great.
Yeah, because then you're not sacrificing extra bowl games because we love the bowl games regardless.
Yeah. I love the Aunt Jemima, syrup bowl. Noah, it's a legacy of college football.
Damn it, AJ! These are teams that aren't playing in those shit bowl games. These are teams that are playing in the in the big ones, in the traditional ones, and the fun ones. And I think you move those bowl games to that second round. When you got 8 teams left, and then also the the 2 with the the third round where there's 4 teams left, and and then you're fine, and you still have some really exciting bowl games. That takes care of like the whole New Year's Six right there.
Oh, easily.
Because you got 4 in the second round of the playoff, and then you got the other 2 in the semifinals, and then you have your national championship, and it's perfect. And the New Year's Six works out, and then it's extra football and some really good games down the stretch. Which, why not add 2 more weeks of really good football?
Hey, I ain't gonna complain. I'm not going to complain, Noah. I'm good. I'm good with it. But, Noah, you got anything else to say about college football besides how disappointed you are that NCAA football is not going to come back until 2024 before we wrap up today?
Yeah, disappointing that we got to wait a little bit for that, but I am really excited. There are rumors swirling that the game will include the ability in certain modes to fire and hire head coaches. Which has never been a thing before. I mean, it's been a decade since we've even had this game, but that'll be really fun if in addition to, well, who knows, maybe they'll do something with transfer portal as well in there. It could get real complex and crazy. I'm excited for it.
It's going to be great. It's going to be the first time in a long time. Oh, yeah.
It'll be worth the wait.
Or they're going to copy-paste Madden and...
No, they said they weren't. There is a completely separate development team working on this. They're using the same engine, but it's a completely different team doing everything, so it should not be a copy-paste of Madden. They promised that, and if it is, fuck them.
All right, well, we'll see about that. But, hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm the Brofect1. That's the Money Train, Noah. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. And, hey, please... go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Continue to support us. We do appreciate it more than you know. And follow us on all the socials. Hit that link tree down below. Again, have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.